Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 271. The title of today's lesson is The Difference Between Affect and Effect as Verbs. Okay, let's look at the note here. The usual noun to affect as a verb is effect with an E. All right, now this already is kind of unusual and kind of strange because the normal pattern would be if the verb is affect, you would have affect also as a noun. But this is different. This is a different case. Actually, there is no affect as a noun. So it's good to get that point out of the way right away. Let's continue. However, it gets more confusing because we have effect as a verb, although it's not as common. The most common is affect as a verb and effect as a noun having the same meaning. So let's take a look at the meaning. Affect as a verb simply means to have an influence on someone or something, or to have an effect on someone or something. So basically, affect is just simply the noun to the verb affect with an A. Okay, good. So, all right, let's look at effect here as a verb. Well, first thing to note is that effect as a verb is very formal. So luckily you don't come across it as much. Um, but still, this is even still a little confusing to native speakers. Native speakers are used to affect as a verb with effect, with the E being a noun. But we don't come across the effect as a verb very much, and they probably have a little trouble or confusion with them when they do come across it or meet it. So let's continue. Effect as a verb, again, formal use, means to make something happen or to bring it about. So it's more than just affluence. If you influence something, means you change it just a little. You don't change it completely. You do something to make it partially change. But if you use effect as a verb, means to make something happen, you're very significant in causing this to happen, in bringing this about to happen. So there's still a very clear difference here. So let's look at some examples. Obesity can seriously affect your health in a negative way. All right, so this is a very common one with affect with an A. That's what it means. It has an influence on your health. It doesn't change your health 100%, but it definitely has an influence on it. So it does partially change it. Hearing too much negative news can affect your emotions. Again, affect with an A. So it have an influence on your emotions. All right, let's look at number 3. The Trump administration seems to have effected change in the North Korean conflict. So they brought about change. They caused change to happen. They had a significant role in making this thing come about or happen. That's what we mean by effect with a verb. Again, when we do use it a lot, it's often formal, so it's not unusual that it's in regard to politics. A lot of times it's effect change too. So a lot of times when we use effect as a verb, it often follows the pattern of like the noun change following it as well. Okay, well, let's continue. This is the only administration that has been able to make North Korea start to denuclearize, to take apart its nuclear weapons. Okay. And the last one here just shows you effect as a noun, from the verb affect. So, effect. I try not to let my personal opinions have an effect on my decisions. So basically, effect here is like an influence. It doesn't mean to bring about your decisions. It means to have an effect on it, just to change it a little bit. Okay. Anyway, I hope it's clear. I hope you got it. Hope it was informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.